Assalamualaikum. Today I would like to present my mini project ECG 263. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Zinafi bin Usman. My matrix number is 20208833 and 68. So for this experiment, there are 4 experiments that I need to conduct. So first experiment is moisture content and particle density test, and second is particle size of distribution, which means sieving test. Third is field density test. And the last one is permeability. Permeability has 2 tests. First is constant and second is falling head test. So I choose falling head test for the permeability test. So the objective for each experiment, first moisture content and particle density test is to determine the specific gravity of soil using density bottle. And for experiment particle size distribution sieve is to determine the percentage of different grain size contained within soil. And for permeability, which means falling head test, is to determine the coefficient of permeability of fine grain soil. And the last one is field density test, is to determine dry density in situ soil. So next is background of study. So undisturbed soil is good to use on each experiment because when we use the soil that never used by other, it's good for our data and we will get the accurate data. So the apparatus for this experiment, we use more container, density bottle, spatula, soil, the filter, and the last one is the air distributor. So first we need to take the mass of the dry density bottle with a stopper and record the mass, and also the mole container. Next we take 10 till 20 gram of oven dry soil sample. Weigh the mass of soil for each mole container. Open the stopper of the density bottle and transfer the soil into the density bottle. Take the mass of the density bottle and the soil. Pour 10 ml distilled water and then soak it and fill again until density bottle is fully half, and then put in the vacuum set. Is to make sure there is no air in density bottle. After 10 minutes, take out it from the vacuum set and then fill the distilled water into the density bottle until it full, and then take the mass of the density bottle. After that, wash up the density bottle and fill the density bottle with the water until it full, and take the weight of the density bottle again. So this is apparatus for the particle size distribution sieving test. First we need a sieve, set of sieve 75 mm, 63 mm, 50 mm, 27.5 mm, 28 mm, 20 mm, 14 mm, and 10 mm, and 6.3 mm. This is for the stage 1. So for the stage 2 is remain 5 mm, 3.35 mm, 2 mm, 1.1 mm, 0.6 mm, 0.425 mm, 0.3 mm, 0.212 mm, 0.150 mm, and the last one 0.063 mm. Mechanical sieve shaker, cleaning plate and pan, also a cleaning brush. Take weight all of the sieve, and then take 1 till 2 kilogram soil that been dried in the oven at 105 Celsius to 110 Celsius, and record the weight of the soil sample. Arrange set of sieve by following the stage 1 and the stage 2, and then pour the soil that we take 1 till 2 kilogram into the set of into the stage 1 of set of sieve. After that, we put the stage 1 set siever into the mechanical sieve shaker. First we need to lose the vertical lock of the sieve shaker, and then we lock back the sieve shaker, mechanical sieve shaker, to make sure the set of sieve will not throw out into the mechanical sieve shaker. Set the timer of the mechanical sieve shaker until 10 minutes. Take the mass of each set of sieve and record it. we don't need to take the weight of the pen from the stage 1. After that, there are some soil remains in pen. So the some remains in pen, we need to put in the stage 2 set of sieve. After we put the soil into the stage 2 set of sieve, we need to put into the mechanical sieve shaker. First, we need to lose the vertical lock of mechanical sieve shaker, and then we lock back the mechanical sieve shaker, and then we set the mechanical sieve shaker for 10 minutes. Okay, next we have apparatus for field density test. We have hammer and item for dig the soil, and also the set of pouring cylinder. So first we need to find clean and level site. Next, we place the metal tray with a central hole at the side, and then we lock it by using the nail and the hammer, and then we dig the soil. When you can see, we use the nail also, and you use hammer, and then we dig it more deeper, and then after we done the dig up, after that we put the pour cylinder into the middle of the metal tray with the central hole, and then we open the shutter until the place the soil we dig is fully filled. This you can see the process. When it full, the sand in the pouring cylinder will stop, and also we can see the place that we dig is fully filled. And then we take metal tray center hole with the soil, and we weigh it and record data. Before we start the experiment, we need to weigh the set of pour cylinder, so we will get the data. So next is falling head test. This is the apparatus that we use in this experiment. First is falling head perimeter, standpipes, treasure cell or compaction mold, stopwatch, thermometer, bucket, and sample extruder. So first we need to open the valve and fill the water into the standpipe to a marked initial height of the standpipe, and we record the initial reading for height H1 and time T1 before the commencement of the test. And then we close the valve and start the test by observing flow by flow of water and time of the reduction. Once the flow of water reach the final height mark, stop the time and record the final reading for height H2 and time T2 simultaneously. And the last one, we record the temperature at the time of the best and obtain the temperature correction from table 1 for KT and K20. So we compute the average of K by repeating the procedure before. So next we go to the results of all of this experiment that I conduct. So this is the result that I get for particle density test. Next is the result for particle size gradient texture for sieving test. So the third experiment, this is the data for the field density. So you can see. So next is for the last experiment is permeability for the falling head test experiment. So next we go to the discussion part for the first experiment, particle density. We get the average specific gravity 6.46, and it's determined how. First, it's void S, and we need to make sure the density bottle is fully filled, and we need to make sure before we start the experiment the density bottle is dry and clean, and after we use the density bottle we should wash out the density bottle and place at the safe space. And next we go to particle size grading and texture. So the percentage that retain is 12.08%, 14.5%, 40.76%, and 12.39%. So we need to make sure that our procedure we do is correct and get the accurate data and the number. So next is permeability test, which means I choose falling head test. So the average of permeability I get is 7.725 times 10 negative 4 cm per second. So for the permeability, the important things is we need to focus and make sure we stand by storage on our hand, and we pour water to make the soil to saturated. And the last one is the field density test. So the average wet density is 2066.74 kilogram meter cube, and the average dry density is 303.37 kilogram per mole cube per meter cube, and the soil is more space, and we need to make sure the still can full with soil, and make sure the soil is placed under the sun. So next is the conclusion. So the conclusion for the particle density, we achieve to determine the specific gravity of soil. And next is the conclusion for permeability for the falling head test. We achieve to get the dry density soil data. And next is particle size grading and texture. We achieve to get a percentage of the grain size contained within soil. And the last one is the field density. We can achieve determine the dry density soil. So my point of view by conduct this experiment is I can know how to conduct the experiment, and I learn how to use the apparatus and how to write a report. Thank you for watching my video.